Hey, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, which is scientifically proven to be the best time to come up with ideas. So, this is a video on why I do not really care for the concept of the boss monster in tabletop RPGs. So, I never got into World of Warcraft or any, MMORPGs. So, and I understand that, my generation, probably a big generation of people who play video games and probably come into tabletop RPGs have probably have a lot of experience with that. So when you come in, the general idea of the DPS tank and healer thing, that probably that definitely carries over. Like even in my Adventure League group, like our party is kind of had an issue for the past while because the fighter who was being our party tank had to drop off for a while. So we were without a tank, and things were kind of chaotic until a cleric came along to be our healer tank, which I'm still not too hot on in terms of split roles. But so when it comes to whenever we got into a fight with a big monster, and this had happened a couple times already, we just kind of had to split, fall into our okay, we have to have somebody who goes up front, takes the hits, and then everyone else can just stay back, and the cleric can just go back and forth as much as they can. And I don't really like that because it's it kind of feels like it's too simple a strategy, and I don't really like the when you fight the one big monster, then it's got to be a threat to the group as a whole. So they end up hitting for a whole lot, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, you do have to have a certain threat level. It can't just be little pissy pants slappy fights. But I don't know. That's kind of the kind of thing is it can still knock you on 2 or 3 hits. So that is very what's the word, I think it's a little too threatening, and because of the short rounds that it can end up being, because if you got 5 guys going on one guy at once, even if you can take somebody on 1 or 2 hits, he's getting 5 times as much damage and as everyone else, right? So when that's happening, everyone's pouring it in, and then you're just coming. It just all goes down to fighting and hitting the one guy, and because the freaking disengage and opportunity attack mechanics work the way they do, if he just ends up standing still for the most part, unless it's some kind of dragon. So I'm not really hot on the boss monsters. Honestly, I really prefer a small posse of bad guys who you end up finding at the end of a dungeon or something, or at the end of a small adventure, or a steady general kind of horde. Because with let's look at the horde. You got a bunch of guys who are probably let's say it's a friggin' a bunch of orcs, and they have 2 squads of 5 orcs, and then 2 squads of 5 goblins, right? And the goblins have arrows and shit, and then the normal orcs, they got their great axes and shit. So then you do have to kind of split and delegate your stuff against okay, what's the bigger threat right now? Well, the orcs can run after us, and the goblins will be shooting at us, so maybe we should take the goblins out first. And then you actually had to stop and plan out the fight and kind of have a strategy besides just alright, I'll stand in front, then everyone else can throw shit at the big bad guy, and then you can run around and heal as you need be. You just generally have more of a like for a bunch of generic dudes, then you kind of have more options. Like things can really have a flow, like based on like the way the rest of the party moves and how the bad guys respond to that. It's like it's more like things are moving around more. It's not like just like moving to one place and then just like comes down to like dice rolls, dice rolls, dice rolls. So then yeah, that's why like yeah, I definitely like hordes the most. And then there's like the posse where it's just like it's kind of like an opposite version of the party. Where like you do have people with their own roles, like a big like an anti-paladin, like an evil wizard or sorcerer, and then like a cleric and an evil god, and then that's like, yeah, that's cool, because like, you know, because it is mirroring what the party has, and like you got to figure out like, do you want to try to like counter it with the mirror thing, and then, or do you want to, or do you want to like try to do some kind of rock paper scissors thing? Maybe that doesn't really work as well for D&D, but that's just what came to mind. Then sort of like and also like as the dungeon master, you can come up with your own strategies for the posse, because like if they know each other, and they fight together more than once, or like if they stop to like think about how they do things and make things easy for themselves, and like it's just logical in that way. And it's really a surprise and another thing for players to like really think about when they're fighting them, because yeah, like now shit, this guy slowed the slowed the fighter. He's gonna be weaker now, so we gotta get after him. But then like also their anti paladins blocking, and you can set up more in different situations for them to do, or for them to get through and overcome, like with just a small number of guys. And like they're probably individually strong too, but I also like to kind of like more scale things, or no, what is it? Like I do kind of like the idea of bad guys being even matches for the party, because like posse fights to be even members, to be even with the party, because then it's like it kind of feels like you can take them on in a fight. Like if it's even, then you really feel like you overcame something because you fought somebody as good as you and you beat them. So that's a good feeling. Let's see what else. Also, yeah, it's just kind of nice to like stop and think about like themed parties and like or themed bad guy posses and like what their relationship with each other is. And if you can get that going, then you might be able to like do some social or charisma stuff before a fight happens. So like not always. I'm just kind of spinning my wheels now. So yeah, you know what? Fuck boss monsters. They're overrated. Too video gamey for me. Just like having a horde, having a posse. That's great. And like sometimes, like dragons. They're pretty iconic. Like the whole party goes up against a dragon. But it's like with the HP bloat, like either it just takes a few rounds, like it just takes fucking forever. And like I'm the kind of guy who feels that like once you get it and you do it well, like a few times, then you win. And like that's also very video gamey in a way. It's like super Legend of Zelda styled, kinda. But yeah, I also believe in like good pacing for a group. Like stopping on one thing for too long, that's just cancer. Nobody wants to be like spending too long on something when they already feel like they should have gotten it. So yeah, consider just like having the big bad guy split into 3 bad dudes or 50, whatever. That's all. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Bye.